Good morning, everybody. It is one thing I'd like to just say. It's New York City. We're doing painting video. We're going to close off the light that comes in from behind the painting. So lighting has a lot to do with a lot of stuff. Okay, so that improves it. I'm working in someone else's space, and she likes to have light come in for her plants. We're in New York City. It's February 8th, 2025. And just to give you an idea of the date for friends and family and people that have known me in the past, this is a filbert that we're going to use to just set out the general idea, and let's just do things. So here's what my paint set looks like at this point. That's good enough for what we need. We're going to set out what we need. This is our palette layout for the time being. Here's a nice slanted, so you leave your brushes like this. It's slanted like that with the water in it, and we also have the mixing water, and we have a container to put our brushes in. You can make that, just punch a hole in a cup, a plastic cup, and you can just have something like that, or you can have a container, long, tall container full of sand, something like that, where you just put them and the sand will hold up the brushes. Something like that can help. Anyway, let me shut up. Okay, so here we have the palette. We're going to have to squeeze a little something out to set out the general concept because we're working in acrylic. And in acrylic, I try to cover it up and keep the paints nice and moist. You have to keep them completely moist. It's not like oil or even watercolor, which gets reconstituted when you reapply water. But acrylics, it just turns into plastic, which is what it really is a polymer with pigment, which makes a good medium when you lay it out. But if you leave it to dry for any amount of time, you're messed up. You have no brush left if you leave it in your brush. If you leave it in your palette uncovered beyond 15, 20 minutes, it's completely compromised. After a half hour, it's completely dried, and all it is super elastic bubble plastic. That's all it is at that point. Okay, so you know what? Let's just lay it out in alizarin crimson. This is alizarin crimson. Okay, and we're using Utrecht art supplies paints. That just get them at Dick Blick. I can go ahead and just name where I get my art supplies. Why bother? We all know that all these things are very good, and everybody's trying to make a living. Okay, so let me shush up. Okay. I want it to be more watery, and the consistency I want, to lay it out, I want it to be like ink. The same consistency as if it were like a little bit of a thicker kind of ink. Okay, so there we have one. And here we have two. And here we have coming up on three coming up. Not yet. We're coming up on three. All right, so laying out a general composition. And to be continued because, let me just lay in a couple of details on the features of the last figurative layout aspect, and then we'll go ahead and cut off and come back. Okay, so that's our just general layout. I mean, there's more to do, obviously. Are you kidding me? We're going to work for a long time, and still we're going to have more and more and more to do. Actually, just before I say goodbye, uh, hopefully maybe lady friend Mercedes will come out and help me with the next video. But before I say goodbye, let's do a little more on some things right here happening with this, okay, which it has to do with what you say, what you see, what you paint is what you'll be. Painting what you'll be, that's what we're going to call this. What will you be in your life? Whether you're young or old, you haven't finished becoming whatever it is that you're going to be. To be continued, February 8th, 2025. Have a great rest of the weekend, and to be continued. We'll pick up on this. You're going to hopefully not recognize what we've just laid out, because we're going to do so much more color-wise and fleshing it out, and most importantly, symbolic-wise, I guess. Maybe very important, not most important. Pretty important. Okay, bye.